18-year-old girl comes to her stepfather's room every night to ask him to lull her to sleep. Although they are not related by blood, they are still nominally father and daughter. The stepfather knew that Marian's behavior was out of line, but his face felt hot when he saw her beautiful face. However, as a middle-aged man, he knew he couldn't let things go on like this. Maybe Marian is just a little dependent on him, but he couldn't talk to Marian about it, so he had to walk out of the room sensibly. Even though his stepfather was trying to keep his distance from Marian was always hanging out in front of him. Remy can only choose to continue to ignore. However, the girl seemed to have no intention of giving up. She went straight to her stepfather's bed and slept next to him, and kept drawing Remy's attention. Remy had to pretend to pick up the newspaper and read it, but the girl started to get closer and closer to him. When she saw that her stepfather still refused to pay attention to her, she suddenly ripped away the newspaper, jumped into his arms, and started to express her love. She kept saying things that went beyond the words of affection. This made Remy feel overwhelmed. He had thought that Marian was only dependent on him like her father. Now it seems that things have gone beyond his imagination. He pushes Marian away and lectures her. He thinks that Marian is still young and immature, so she can't tell the difference between affection and love, which is why she has these symptoms of excessive dependence on him. But Marian says she understands everything and wants her stepfather to stop treating her like a child. She asks Remy to give her a chance to pursue love. This made Remy angry and criticized her severely, but the girl didn't let it stop her. She always found every reason to have physical contact with him. She even changed her clothes in front of him in Remy's room. The situation was getting out of hand. In order to cut off the girl's dangerous thoughts, Remy decides to send her to her real father, but Marian was determined not to agree. She has been living with her stepfather since she was 7 years old, and is more dependent on him than on her biological father. Yet Remy had to do it. When the two of them said goodbye in the car, Marian continued to say sweet things to him. Then she suddenly grabbed Remy in her arms and kissed him directly. Remy didn't seem to be able to react, but responded to her kiss. Then the two of them said goodbye at the station. Perhaps the kiss ripped a subtle hole in Remy's heart. After Marian's departure, he began to lose his ability to work. He was not as good at playing the piano as he used to be. He even became depressed all day and lost his appetite for food. It was then that he realized he couldn't leave Marian anymore. In fact, it was all because he missed his dead wife too much. And Marian looked very similar to his wife. Remy's wife was a beautiful woman who wore beautiful makeup every day. This made Remy obsessed with her. The couple had a very harmonious relationship, but his wife died in a tragic accident. Remy and Marian were devastated and cried together. Remy took care of Marian for the rest of their lives. His gentlemanly and elegant temperament and the charm of maturity that he exuded were what made Marian's affection for him change at some point. And now Remy's feelings seemed to have changed in a subtle way. That day, he received a phone call from Marian out of the blue. The 18-year-old girl had developed a strong attachment to her stepfather. She not only asks her stepfather to lull her to sleep every day, but also often performed various sexy acts in front of him. Remy knows in time what the girl means, but he can only suppress his desire every day. Remy's feelings start to change subtly because of the long time he spends with the girl, but he also understands that puppy love Marian does not yet know what love is. Besides, there is a huge age gap between the two of them. However, in order to prevent their relationship from developing further, Remy had to send Marian back to her real father. But after sending the girl away, Remy starts to miss Marian and becomes depressed, thinking about her all the time. However, one day he suddenly received a phone call from Marian. Marian on the other end of the line said she missed him. Remy's original tired face was suddenly rejuvenated, so he asked Marian to wait for him there. The next morning at 6 o'clock before dawn, Remy drove his car to pick up Marian in a hurry. Marian saw Remy from a distance and kept waving at him. Marian then got dressed and rushed downstairs to the car. They then kissed passionately in the car. When Marian got home, she started to tell Remy how much she loved her. Remy listens in silence. The girl then walks to the door of the room and gives Remy a long and meaningful look. Remy hesitates for a moment and then slowly closes the curtains. Things eventually went beyond Remy's control. However, after the sex, Remy was afraid to face Marian and was very upset that he had lost control. He had to end the intimacy between the two of them. He then cleans up Marian's room and lets her go back to her room. But Marian doesn't want to sleep alone. She wants to sleep with her stepfather. Remy has to persuade Marian that she doesn't know how to love. Their relationship is not normal either. He told Marian that she should have more contact with boys. Then she will understand that true love But what Remy didn't expect was he saw a lot of motorcycles parked in front of the house right after he left work that night, and the house was very noisy. He pushed open the door and saw that the room was filled with a group of boys. It seems that Marion also listens to Remy. She could call the whole school boys to play at home. But what's even worse is that the next day, Remy saw a boy coming out of the house. Remy was furious when he saw Marion in her room, laying on the bed with her clothes undressed. He accused Marion of wrongdoing, but the girl wanted to use this way to anger her stepfather. And then Marion is going to do something even more outrageous. She would flirt and kiss the boys in front of Remy. This made Remy feel very bad. But then Marion started to stay out all night, hanging out in bars all day. Remy stayed up late every night waiting for her to come home. This made Remy feel very haggard. He became possessive. When Marion comes back to him, he can no longer suppress his desire. The stepfather slowly undresses the girl and has sex again, breaking the taboo between them. However, that morning the girl's biological father suddenly knocked on the door. Remy was exhausted from having sex in the room and came down to open the door. When the girl's father saw his haggard appearance, he thought Remy had been drinking too much lately. Then Charlie asked how his daughter was doing. Remy began to say a few casual words to satisfy him, but Remy's feeble legs and the unnatural expression on his face made Charlie feel that this was a strange thing. While Remy was trying to lie to him, Marion ran down the stairs in a short skirt. The moment Marion sees her father, she shows a panicked expression. Charlie asks them both what is going on. Remy wisely makes up some excuse to get out of it. Charlie did not find any evidence and asked Remy to take care of Marion. Remy also said that although Marion is in a rebellious stage, his relationship with Marion is slowly improving. Marion's biological father had just opened the door and left. The two of them immediately clung to each other in passion. However, Charlie was not far from the window when he saw this scene. He immediately returned to question Remy and Marion if they were having an illicit relationship, but Remy denied it immediately and accused Charlie of malice. "How can you have such evil thoughts?" Charlie looked at Remy's righteous face and thought he might be overthinking things. "I thought the two of them would be happy together like this." But then Remy met a rich woman at Marion's parent-teacher conference. Looking at this elegant woman named Simone, Remy couldn't help but think of his ex-wife. Remy couldn't let go of the feeling that his heart was pounding. More importantly, Simone is also a single mother, which gives Remy the idea of starting a family with her. The unusual relationship between Remy and Marion makes him long for a right marriage. Afterwards, Remy keeps approaching Simone with various excuses and gradually gains her affection. Simone also loves the piano. Simone also loves piano, which is the same as Remy's interest. The relationship between the two adults heats up quickly. But Marion, who loves her adoptive father, is not happy. She begs him not to abandon her. Remy knows that his relationship with the girl will not last. He tries to convince Marion to end the relationship and leave him to find the love that is truly hers. Seeing that Remy is determined, Marion asks to make out with Remy one last time. Remy has no choice but to agree with her. Marion sheds tears of sorrow when she realizes that this is the last time they will have sex. In the end, she returned to her father's side, and Remy was rightfully with Simone. The room that used to belong to Marion as a new owner. While Remy and Simone were happily enjoying the pleasure of love, Simone's 6-year-old daughter was watching from the doorway, and Remy is about to become the stepfather of the new girl.